Alright, ladies and gentlemen, like I said before, that project didn't go well, it didn't work. And so what I'm gonna go ahead and do right now is run the vinegar solution through the hot water heater again, but this time I'm gonna turn everything off except for the power. I'm gonna leave the power on while I run the system. I'm gonna give like about 30-40 minutes after I get ready to go to work, but we're gonna see if that corrects the issue again. It ran all night. We ran it before like that, didn't fix it. We ran it the second time, it did fix it. Let's see what we can do at this point. So again, turned everything off. I forgot to turn these back off when I initially turned everything back on. So turn the cold water off, hot water off, and the gas off. My wife finished last night. She had the gas on still, more than likely. She doesn't know for sure. I'm gonna assume that she did have the gas off, but the first thing we have to do is connect our hoses. So I have these turned off right now. And let me go ahead and disconnect this. There we go. Both of those are turned off. I have a hot water hose right here. I just screw this onto this. I'm gonna also put my panel back on, which I didn't do yet. But this hose is on there. I'm gonna get my cold water hose and screw that on. So again, hot water's turned off, cold water's turned off. I still have the system on. You still see the error code LC4. So, as you guys can see, with the pump, I have the cold water line connected to the pump. The pump's going to pump vinegar from out of the bucket and run it through the system, and it's going to refilter itself from the hot water back into the bucket. So, we'll get that process going. So that's sitting there, I guess. And that's doing this thing just sitting up in there. So now I have to open these valves. And then we run the pump. Just run my good handy dandy pump. Unplug the compressor. And plug up the pump. You hear it running. It's doing this thing. So the pump is pumping and pushing water through this system. While that's doing this thing and it's turned on, I'm gonna go ahead and put the screws back on the panel before I forget. I have all 4 screws and my handy dandy screwdriver. So that's pumping and doing this thing. And I'll go ahead and screw these back in, put my panels back on. One. Screw 2. Screw 3. And screw 4. I have my side panels that we took off earlier. Let's go ahead and put them back in place. Pretty self-explanatory. They have little latches that slide into place into these here. So just even these up and slide these back in place. Again, this tankless water heater is a Rinnai RL75. When you guys get these new houses, if you have a tankless water heater, make sure that you do this, or at least call Rinnai or your manufacturer to have them do this for you at least once a year. That way your warranty stays good and your system runs for several years. There should be no reason why I'm having problems with my system, but again, we neglected it. We didn't know it was our first time buying a home, our first time even hearing about a tankless water heater, and so we're paying the price for that right now. But we have been able to circumvent, kind of do a workaround and get the hot water to cut back on. Right now it's giving us a little bit of a harder time, so we'll see what we can do. Again, guys, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. I know I don't have a solution, but I just want to put a video out there, a DIY. So let this run for like about 40 minutes. Again, you probably went like an hour, 30 minutes, hour, 40 minutes since it ran all night. We'll let it run for like about 40 minutes or so, let it pump through the system, see if we can get it to clean itself out and take it from there. To kind of give you guys a heads up. If you look in here, you see the water, you see the pump. If I pull up the tubing, you can see it working. The cold water line is pumping the vinegar solution into the water heater. The hot water line is draining it back out, back into the bucket. As you can see, you have some junk and particles up in there, so that's why it's important to keep this system clean. Usually we turn everything off, but we did leave the power on, and to see if it makes a difference, to see if I can get it to reset itself and try to cut itself on. But we'll let it run for like about another 30 minutes or so and take it from there, guys. Stay tuned for the update on that.